This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world. There is 95 FM, pulse95radio.com, our app, Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, or even if you're in the comfort of your very own home, watching us on YouTube live. Shout out to my RBO crew, Marvish, Terry, Joe, Fahed's in the building as well, Mel. Who else have I got? Mustafa, of course I ain't forgetting you. Kareen, Megan. What's going on, people? How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a wicked Saturday. The energy's on fire and I can't wait to spend this hour with you. What have I got in store? I'll tell you what I've got in store. We've got fitness and health as the first segment of the day, and it's kind of influenced by my own crew in the background, RBO, talking to me about their questions when it comes to health and fitness. And then racism in sport. It's absolutely got no place in it, but in the US, they've actually boycotted sports until this weekend. So we're going to be talking about that. We've also got Arsenal versus Liverpool, my team versus the champions, coming up on the third segment, and we're answering all your questions at the final segment, so you got to stick around for the hour. But in the meantime, kick back, chill, grab a little bit of a drink, and let's enjoy this together, because I got a little bit of good music for you coming up right now.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Aduri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Aduri. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you are around the world, whether it's Florin from New York, Debo from California, we've got Adil from New York as well, we've got Saif from London, we've got Fatima from the UAE, and we've got my RBO crew who are tuned in, showing love. Gabby, what's up, Gabby? How you doing? Thank you so much for looking after us on YouTube as well, getting us streaming live on Pulse 95 Radio. Now, quick couple of shout-outs, because this segment is inspired by the group I train with. And so I kind of have to dedicate this one, because yesterday we were kind of just talking as we do, and I kind of asked them, because that's what I do, I ask questions. I said, guys, what is it about the industry that you're kind of looking to hear more from? What do you want to do more about? What struggles do you find? What challenge do you find? And a shout out goes to Joe, Lulu, Mustafa, Terry, Megan, Marvish, Kareen, Mel, Coco, and the whole RBO family. If I missed you today, I won't miss you on Monday or Wednesday or Saturday, because that's when my show is on at 3 to 4. Shameless plug. What's up, Hazem? All right, so one of the things I do a lot in the industry is I ask a lot of questions, and I do so because I'm interested in opinions, and that comes down to research or experience. And from that, one of the questions that came up was how to balance the type of exercise or fitness you do. For example, what's a good mixture? And is doing too much of the same bad for you? So shout out for Joe for that question. See, I told you I'd use one of your questions. Now here it comes down to a couple of things, guys. One thing is it's not just about stimulating the body, but also stimulating the mind. And how you stimulate the brain is the way forward, because that gets your nervous system ready to be able to take the steps physically, because everything goes through the brain. We've spoken about that before. Now, if it ain't broke, why fix it is something we hear a lot, but often the problem is we don't actually set a short-term or a long-term plan. Goal setting and realistic goal setting is very, very important in terms of the objective that you set for yourself to be able to achieve results. And results is something that often we try and fast track, and we fast track that through how we put things on the table and just say, right, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. Or is it? The whole point is trying to get things in place for you to be able to realistically achieve your goals and be sustainable, because that's the problem now. One of the biggest challenges in the industry that I often ask is, how do you sustain longevity? And that's where it becomes a lifestyle rather than a trend, flavor of the month, or even exercise of the month. So having a look at that, I'll ask you a question. 4215 Itasalat or slide into my DMs at Omar Duri and let me know, what drives you? Is it the numbers on the scale? Is it distance if you're a runner? Is it how you feel in your clothes? Or even if it's dropping a dress size? What actually motivates you to try and get the results that you want? That's the place. And yes, Mario, Super Mario, belated happy birthday again. We celebrate the whole week. That's why I'm going to say happy birthday to you. And yes, it is the only place to be at 3, especially on a Saturday. So the other thing I was going to ask you is, how do you measure progress? Now, it's one thing to be able to try and set objectives for you to do, but how do you measure that? Again, does it come down to numbers? Does it come down to feeling? Does it come down to, performance? A lot of the times we kind of get lost in between 1 or 2 or 3 of those that I've mentioned. And that's something that if you go back now and you check out the show and you actually go down and start writing down what motivates you, what drives you forward, and how do you measure progress. Already you will start to put things out on paper. It kind of helps me a lot when it comes down to mapping things out, because sometimes I have to write it. I'm a visual person, so I have to write it to be able to see what works for me. And often when things are put out on paper, that's when I start to look at the month or the week and start to plan accordingly. So that's another thing I challenge you to do, is how you actually map things out. Anthony Robbins said it himself: put a massive action plan out and you will be successful, because it's a massive action plan that has small building blocks for you to build your performance. Now, perspective, that's another thing we're going to touch on. What's up, DJ Bliss? Hope you're doing well, my man. Perspective is what we're talking about as well. When it comes down to health and fitness and even training to sustain longevity, it really depends how you view things. Are you looking on your right or your left in terms of, or staying in your lane? And that's something that sometimes we're often guilty of, in terms of how come that person got that result? How come that, person achieved that goal? Well, because every body type is different. The way our metabolism is different. The genders are different. Obviously, when it comes down to the female versus the male, they both do have advantages, though. It doesn't just come down to males. So also, that's another thing. Perspective is something that you have to be able to kind of see what is a learning curve from what is a challenge. And I say that because the idea is to build safe, sustainable habits that you can progress, learn, and develop. It may not always be comfortable. That's another thing. Some people like to be in their comfort zone, and hey, listen, hats off to them. They might want to just stay in a flow state of training. And this is where we sometimes find ourselves a little bit guilty, because we are fixated on being comfortable. That's just society. However, when you've mapped something out short-term and long-term, be realistic, yet also challenge can also be positive. To challenge yourself both physically and mentally adds a whole different game to fitness and well-being. The way you recover, the way you adapt, and not get sucked into social media or social pressure is probably something that could be the best blessing in disguise if you get that right. Because often we look and see, inspiration, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not saying don't be social. It's about, on the contrary, I'm inspired from different factors. I'm inspired by people I train with, you guys, the training partners I have. I've been fortunate enough to learn from some incredible people over the last 20 years of training, and trust me, they've gone to reach incredible goals. So hats off to them for that. Shout out to Zion in Canada. Shout out to Derek in London. Chris Kung Fu in London as well. We got some big boys out there. Florin from New York. So this is why I say to you, that reset button that you hit daily is very, very important. Whether it's meditation, prayers, being able to detach from everything else is your key to being able to put perspective in place. Now, it does come down to your relationships, but the most important relationship is coming down to the relationship with yourself, which actually creates a formation with your relationship with others. Now, a lot of the times, even coaches face the challenges of motivating themselves because they spend a lot of time and energy helping others, which can be taxing mentally, which affects them physically. This leading to the start of the show when I was answering that question. Now, overall, it does come down to management and how you adapt to your personal goal. 4215, Ittasalat, I do hope I've answered your question, Joe. And yes, you and Mustafa definitely be working in the gym on those planks as competition, wicked competition, Joe. But stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
This is the halftime show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Woo, we are back. Welcome back to the halftime show with Omar Adori, your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Hey, thank you guys for keeping me company as well, man. I appreciate you. Saturday is a day where I chill with you guys. I kick back, we talk about topics that's relevant, what's happening at the moment. First segment was dedicated to my RBO crew, who was talking to me about fitness. And hey, listen, you guys inspired me for a couple of shows, so I'm going to keep some of those topics for Monday and Wednesday, 3 to 4. It's Community Shield Day. Yes, that's right. Safe. It is Community Shield Day all the way from the UK. Shadi says, let's talk sports, let's debate. I'm here, man. Let's go. Let's do this. Qasim says, by the way, passed on your book to my mate, and he says it's helped motivate him. I appreciate that, my bro. If I can help one person, I'm very, very happy. It's very rewarding for me, very spiritual as well. Now, talking about the world of sports, unfortunately, it's one thing I don't really want to be talking about when it comes down to the tragic scenes that are happening in the US. And as it's related to sport, but also mainly life, it's kind of sad how the tragic scenes has seen the shooting of Jacob Blake recently, which has got things really on a knife edge, let's say, in the US regarding racism, regarding all the things that shouldn't be happening in society. And the athletes actually using that to put a message out there is very, very, very good, because you can't ignore it, and it has been ignored for a long time. And it's not just with Black African, Black American. It's with the whole world. There's been so many things happening all over Yemen, Lebanon, Palestine, everywhere. It's been happening for a while, and the fact that athletes or celebrities are using their platform to gain that awareness, which, by the way, doesn't take much to actually get that. This is my take on it. And what I had to look at is when I saw that the NBA players, I would say boycotted the sport, but also MLS and so many different things, I was kind of happy with that, because as much as I love sport and I want to be seeing, what's happening out there, sometimes life takes its toll on us, and it takes its role on us. And that's something that the NBA will resume gameplay after today, when players protested the playoffs in the wake of the shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin. There's so many wrong things about what's happening out there, not just in the US, but everywhere. It's just, especially now, it's almost impossible to escape what's going on. And that's a very, very good thing. The NHL will not play any playoff games Thursday in solidarity with the other leagues, sources told ESPN. And with the decision postponing games between the New York Islanders and Philadelphia Flyers and Vegas Golden Knights and Vancouver Canucks as well. So, again, there's so many things that's happening out there at the moment now. There is no place for that in society, and people are ignoring it. Is it due to the organizations and the people above? Yes, absolutely. There's no control over that. Then therefore it does get messy. I kind of have this feeling that I've always said I hate talking about politics, especially on the show. I don't really like bringing it up, because I just feel like there's other things to talk about rather than that. And that comes down to things like mental health, physical health, gut health, the way the brain affects the body. I'm very, very keen on emphasizing those things. When things are out of your hands and we lose lives every single day due to petulance and people that have a lack of education when it comes down to racism, when it comes down to culture or spirituality or anything like that, it doesn't really have a place on the show. But when it comes down to putting a message out there, and these athletes actually standing for something more than just fame, more than just fortune, then I do mention on the show. So I'm very, very grateful for those athletes that did stand together to stop, to boycott the sport, just to kind of put a point together. We mentioned before on the show how they were booing the Black Lives Matter kneel in one of the MLS games, in the first MLS game, with 30% fans back. Again, it's kind of sour, but hey, listen, we're not sour here on the show. We're positive, we're being good. The Lakers postponed their game due to the US tragedy. Should other sports support this from other countries? Very good question. Carson from the UK shoots that my way. I do believe so, and I do believe that's something that we need to do. We also have to bear in mind that how can we support, and where is that message going to? If that message is going worldwide and global, then absolutely, yes, we should be doing that. But if it's going on deaf ears, there's no fans in the stadium or there's no people watching, that's very, very difficult. But now I think with social media, it's definitely playing its part in getting that message out there. Shout out to Imrooney and Maria. And guys, I know you were asking me, Safe, and I know you were asking me, Qasim, about the Charity Shield. Well, hey, listen, you don't have to wait longer, because right after this, one of my favorite tunes, we're going to be right back. Enjoy this.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. I love this tune, man. How you guys doing? Shout out to Coach Saman and Maria and Joe and everyone, and Terry, Qasim, Footy.mom, Dino, Almas, and Shadi, and everyone else is tuned in. Thank you very much, you people. I appreciate it. Oh, Footy.mom and is Angelica, which is Almas's mom. You see, I'm going to follow you, Footy.mom. Now I know who it is. Sorry, sometimes we get all sorts of people on the Instagram live. What's up, Flo Galindas? Hope you're doing well. Now, you did want a little taste of the Charity Shield. You want a little taste of the Women's Champions League. Well, I'm going to give it to you right now, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the women's first, because we go ladies first, and it's Champions League final time. It is Lyon versus Wolfsburg. There are many things we need to consider coming into this final. It's been an interesting year. Lyon have won it in the past many, many times. PSG looked good this year, but this time they face Wolfsburg. Is there any coincidence that a lot of the German teams in both men and female football, not soccer, are doing really, really well. Hey, you know what? I think the coaching has been a big thing. And I always, not just because I'm a coach, but I always give credit to the coaches. Why? Because they do a lot of work behind the scenes that we don't see unless you see success. And sometimes success is measured on trophies rather than performances. And through that, that's why the women's game has increased its popularity, because it's developed a lot. And not only that, it's very entertaining. Same with the men's, but back to the women's. This year, the Champions League final has, had a few twists and turns. Lyon have some records on the line. A lot of big things Lyon are doing. Lyon's, let's see, in the UEFA Champions Cup, the first game qualifying round was against Slovan. The first team was, if I can say this right, Pons Renard. Right, man. I need to get my pronunciation right, because that was awful. First goal scorer was Camille Abili in 7 minutes. Final wins, they've won in 2011, 2012, 16, 17, 18, 19, and they're back in the final 20. They didn't win in 2010 or 2013, but they are doing big things. Now, is it normally the case where we often like the underdog to win when we see a team like Lyon, overpower many, many people? For me personally, sometimes when it comes down to the financial side of things, the big teams buy the best players, etc. But there's always something about, the younger team. And Angelica says, Danid Wendy Renard, she's so tall, usually scoring headers. Yes, especially on set pieces, very, very powerful. Actually, the ability to be able to move away from her marker and the agility to raise up over and almost like hang time, stay up in the air and bam, head that ball is very, very impressive from Rella. And she's rightfully so taking a lot of credit, not just on the domestic scene, but also on the international scene. And you can see why. Almost like the Van Dijk, let's say, of the women's game, which is a big compliment. That's the best defender in the world. Liverpool fans, that's all you're going to get from me today. Apart from that, you're not going to get much more. Now, speaking about that, who do you think is going to win 4-2-1-5 at the Salat Ordu? Will it be a surprise in Wolfsburg, the underdog, or will Lyon dominate again? I want to hear from you. Let me know. Well, Terry goes, it's 2020. Whatever we are not expecting will happen. You know what, Terry? You are right again. I think that wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, Lyon have been dominant, but Wolfsburg, have had very, very impressive wins on the way to the final, so I got to take my hat off to them. Not right now, but you know what I mean. And then when it comes down to the men's side game, we also have this small kind of occasion of Arsenal versus Liverpool. The FA Cup winners versus the Premier League winners, and rightfully so. In the middle of pre-season, which will be very, very different, a lot of the people are telling me that it's going to be a battering. It might do. Depends on my mood. Will you find out the result for those who are not interested in football? Depending on my mood, you will tell if, oh man, I hope they don't. But if Liverpool smash Arsenal, you will see my face pretty disappointed. And we don't like that. We don't want to be disappointed. So yeah, that's regarding that. I kind of think, to be honest, the lineups will be quite predictable in terms of Liverpool, Alisson in goal, Jones on the right, you got Van Dijk, Gomez and Robertson, followed by Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and who am I missing? Keita probably at this stage. And you've got the fabulous three, Firmino, Salah and Mane. From the Arsenal side, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Who do they start in goal? It looks like Bert Leno will get the number one place again, following Martinez. Is very, very impressive FA Cup run and win. Then you've got the back line. Again, I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles will start. I think the back three might consist of Louise, Saliba. See, I'm struggling to name these players, and maybe Tierney. There might be a surprise in there. And then when it comes down to it, I would probably say you got to either play Saka or even, it's hard because Saka's played really well. I think Lacazette won't play. Xhaka will play. Torreira might have a start, and Nini might even play today. And Nini versus Keita. Oh my God, I'm struggling. I'm struggling already. And that just tells you regarding the type of, opposition you're up against. If you're not on your A game, this could be, a battering. What's up, Bilal? How you doing? Shout out to Bilal from RBO who's just joined in the Instagram live. So yeah, that's regarding the Community Shield. But what do you think? Slide into my DMs at Omar Duri or hit me up on 4215 at Salat Ordu. Who's going to win the Women's Champions League between Lyon and Wolfsburg? And who's going to win the Charity Shield or Community Shield if you're old school like me, between Arsenal and Liverpool. Hopefully it will be Arsenal. Don't laugh. Why are you laughing for? Don't laugh. Hopefully it will be Arsenal. And then we can kind of get on with just chilling for the next 2 weeks before the Premier League starts. I hope that's what happens. And this is exactly, what sport is all about. In the first segment, we spoke about health and fitness. We spoke about what motivates you and perspective-wise, mentally and physically, what drives you to achieve your goals. In the second segment, we spoke about the toxicity or the poison of sport racism and what's going on with how the US athletes actually boycotted the sport to put a message out there, which I actually really, really loved them doing. And then in segment 3, we gave a little bit of love to the Women's Champions League and also the Men's Community Shield. But coming up next, we answer all your questions and answers on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95. Blessings, Angel. Here it comes.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Wow. We've almost reached full time on the Halftime Show. I'll tell you what, time flies when you're having fun. We had a great question, which I have to shoot your way. Let's see if you guys can jump into this, because this was really good. Question by Safe from London. Which woman footballer would walk into a top 4 team? Angelica says Rose Lavelle. Almas says Alex Morgan. Sorry, Almas. That was a very, very good question. Guys, let me know how many of the current, and the standard is high now in the women's game, how many of the current players would walk into the men's game? Very, very good question. Shout out to Bartawi as well. Be real Be real and realistic in what you want to achieve. Commit to the pace and capacity you can cope with and stick to it. Love that, Hats. Thank you very much for that. Who else we got? We got Spicy. Where you been, man? You can't be rocking up at 39 past 3, man. You're normally the first one in the room. But hey, listen, if you do miss the shows, you can catch us on the podcast on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. Or if you prefer a visual, head over to the YouTube, go to Pulse 95 Radio, hit the subscribe button. Halftime Show is there. Click on that. Watch the show in your own time. What's up, Subhi? Who else we got here? We've got Shadi. Look at Arsenal's last 6 games. Lose, win, win, lose, win, win. And Liverpool's last 6 games, win, win, draw, lose, win, win. I think you are right. It might be a draw first half. Then Liverpool will win 1-0. Hey, listen, you never know. I'll tell you now, the thing is, especially at this time of the year, and I was having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine, this time of the year normally, and this is the thing, the current norm is very different. There's a pre-season where you train the players, you train the athletes, you get them mentally right, you show them, notational analysis of their performances throughout the season, what goes on behind the scenes, sports science-wise. They can process that, they can go on the pitch and they can practice that, or they can go into the gym and work on that and focus on all these things. But this year, the Community Shield is right in the middle of the pre-season, which means in terms of performances, some people are still coming back from their, let's say, break, although I wouldn't really be traveling that many places. As you found out with Harry Maguire, I'm sure he would have much rather stayed at home than go to Mykonos. So it's telling you a lot of things. This pre-season is right in the middle, and then there's 2 weeks until, the Premier League starts. But then again, when we watch the Champions League, you can tell the difference, especially in the second half, between Paris and Bayern Munich, in the sense that Bayern Munich had started their league and resumed their league a lot earlier, whilst Paris's league was put on hold or put to an end, let's say null. And that's where, a lot of these small factors in terms of performances are what makes it what it is. Spicy thinks it's going to be 2-1. Subhay gives me a high five. What's up, Subhay? High five back to you, my bro. And that is, exactly covering a lot of things. I think performances, especially when it comes down to, the first segment we mentioned, a lot of things in terms of perspective, in terms of how do you measure up if you're doing the same of the right thing or not. And I think it does come down to objectives and goal setting. Is it performance? Is it the way you look or the way you feel? Is it a dress size or how you feel in your clothes? There's so many different factors, I think, that cover that. And to answer your question, I think everyone is very, very different in how they're motivated, because a lot of times we jump on the wagon and then we don't really feel the difference, and we jump off it before we even realize we're actually on the right track. And these things do take time, especially to build habits, and habitually we have had habits instilled in us since we were young. So a lot of things we have to kind of rectify, and you got to do it within reason and take your time. We got Mira in the building, we got Ban in the building, we got the national UAE footballer Erid in the building joining us. You know, I'm kind of starstruck when I see Erid because I've known Erid a while now. And you know, we used to kick it back in the day. You know, I used to coach against her, then I used to coach her. And then she came on the halftime show. And now she's in every publication. So listen, hats off to you, Erid. Don't forget us, you know. I'm just telling you now, don't forget us. And shout out to your husband as well, Gatto, the man. I wouldn't say the first name, but Gatto. And yeah, guys, you know, this is exactly what it comes down to. The halftime show is all about, you know, the behind the scenes scoop on health, on mental health, physical health, but also mental fitness and how the brain plays such an important role in, you know, in sports science. And then you've got the aspect of sports and how we cover football, basketball, you know, rugby, cricket, tennis, all and above. And that's us, basically. That's what we do here. And so grateful to have had you guys with us, you know, chilling. It is full-time on the halftime show. I'll give you a full-time whistle. And as DJ Khaled always says, it is another one. I hope you've enjoyed it. And again, if you have joined us at the end, you know, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud if you like the podcast, or even YouTube if you like the visuals. Stay tuned, guys. I love the fact that you spent your Saturday with me. I will see you very, very soon. Monday is the next stop. Put that countdown reminder on, and I'll see you very soon. And big Hass as you join, as I'm leaving. Love you, big bro. All the best. Take it easy. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.
The Heart of Sharjah.
This is Pulse 95.
95. Heart of Sharjah.